Paul, there's a lot of questions we got were around trust. So how much are MLAs paid, and is it too much when public workers have had a pay freeze?
MLAs are paid as a flat rate, £48,000 a year. And we know that there's pressures on other public sector workers, whether it's been nurses, where it's been around a 1% pay increase, if it's around teachers, where there's been a debate currently around a 1% increase. So I understand the frustration for public sector workers where we haven't had increases in people's salaries. I suppose when you look at someone's particular career, they will all be paid a varying amount. MLAs don't set their own pay, it's set by an independent panel. They ultimately decide what that salary would be, and it's then for the public to decide who's going to represent them. So I don't get involved in politics in respect of what I can get out of it, it's what I can give to others, and my terms and conditions, that's set entirely independently. I have no role in that whatsoever.
Should all parties have to reveal who their donors are?
Well, we want that to happen. In Northern Ireland, there's been a history, obviously, around security concern that if you're associated with a party, that you could then become a target by individuals who don't agree with that party, particularly within unionism. There has been a fear that Republicans would have targeted in the past. But there's a clear travel of direction that publication of donations is something that is going to happen. I support that. I know myself from the DUP, I contribute part of my own salary, as do our councillors, into the party. Our party's donations are made up by small amounts and individuals. We don't have large single donors, and therefore we have nothing to hide in that respect. And whenever the lists get published and the law changes, we'll certainly publish that information.
How many hours a week are you in your constituency office?
As an MLA, I'll always be here on a Friday. I suppose I've had the task of having to juggle my local constituency responsibilities with being a minister. That has involved me being out Mondays through to Thursdays, pretty much 12 hours a day, and then on Saturdays having to do some activities as well. And that has taken me away a little bit from the constituency, but then I always have a good team around me. Fridays I always spend here in Lisburn and out in the different villages, meeting with people, keeping on top of my own constituency work. But the time pressures is something which I don't think the public necessarily fully understand, the kind of commitment that's involved in being a public representative. You don't switch your phone off. If you do, you're not doing the job. You're always contactable through social media, Facebook, Twitter, emails, phone calls, and then your routine business that takes place. So an MLA from whatever party does a huge amount of work every day of the week, except for me on a Sunday where I spend that at my own church.
So as briefly as you can, the RHI scheme, what should we do about it? Surely somebody needs to be accountable.
Well, two things on RHI. One was the cost control mechanisms that weren't put in place at the time. The GB scheme, in hindsight, should have been implemented here in Northern Ireland, and that would have prevented the problems. Once the problems arose, we moved quickly to then introduce a cost control mechanism, and we have changed the tariff. So that money's now not going to be lost. And we've wanted to have a judge-led inquiry into that, so that the information, if there is allegations to be made, a judge will now probe all of that, and that will be made public, and people then should be held to account when the evidence is there to do that. And certainly if that evidence points to individuals, whoever they are, they need to be held to account for that.
What's the price of milk?
Well, I can get 2 litres of milk if I buy 2 of them for £2, gets me 2 litres. 2 litres of milk. If you go for the individual 2 litres, I think it's £1.29.